Well, we're going to do a little sit and talk instead of walk and talk because the princess decided not to do her business this morning. Must be the medication for her elbow pain that's getting her a little constipated. Hopefully, that's not TMI. So, first of all, amazing week. One of my good friends who owns a restaurant where I did the open mic nights met with one of my artists that I discovered, Porter Martin. I didn't discover him, he's been around a long time, but I interviewed him. And they're writing together, and so that's amazing. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. You bet your bottom dollar I'll be playing that song when it finally comes out. So keep an eye and ear out for that. But Pete Hegseth made it through the gauntlet and is now the Secretary of Defense. And, Nashville guy, all the senators from Tennessee voted for or wrote a letter and signed it saying we want him. And so that's good news. Tennessee values, volunteers. He was a UTK guy, so that's amazing. That stands for University of Tennessee Knoxville. For those of you, unlike me, who have been here for a couple years and figured that out, didn't have any idea before I got here how that was all worked out. But that's okay. Still get last names wrong all the time. But like I said, once we got the Congress solidified, even if it was just a vote majority, and God forbid a COVID strain HB 104276532 comes wiping through there, and there's some absences from the Congress. At least is owned by the Republican Party at the moment of power with Mike Johnson. Trump obviously president, and so the other branch, the other branch of Congress, not the Supreme Court, which is relatively conservative. They did overturn Roe versus Wade, so we'll give them credit. Wade, we'll give them credit where it's due. But the Senate, I knew it. The Senate, I contend there are 85 Republicans. I'm sorry, there are 85 Democrats in the Congress, in the Senate. They run like Republicans, they act like it on the campaign trail, but they don't lead like it. And so who do we get that didn't want Pete Hegseth in there? It's the three amigos. It was Susan Collins, Murkowski from Alaska, and Mitch McConnell, the former speaker forever, longest serving speaker, I think, ever. And now one of the oldest out there. But in Alaska, I don't think they have Democrats. So what you've got is Republican rhino, chief rhino, Lisa Murkowski, whose father gave her seat. And then they put in this ranked choice voting where a third place person wins. And she just kept that seat. And now she's a Democrat. She's like the only Democrat from Alaska. And so she voted no. And Susan Collins from Maine, I mean, again, they don't have Republicans in Maine. She's just a Democrat. So, who they fooling? And then Mitch McConnell, who, if you read Peter Schweizer's book, completely compromised, totally China. He's married to a Chinese mogul, transportation mogul's daughter. You can't imagine how bad it's been. And from the Republican side in Kentucky, Trump endorsed him. He was going to lose his reelection. Trump endorsed him, and then he does this. So just typical. It's going to be a good day when he's no longer around. The good news is the new majority leader, Thune, did vote for him, and they did pass it. JD Vance broke the tie. The senator from Pennsylvania that they flipped to Republican obviously did too. So without him, that would be amazing. So kudos to Scott Pressler for making that happen. And the Republicans have the thinnest of majorities because they don't play along. They're not MAGA. They haven't figured this out what the people want, the populist party. They're still behaving like Democrats, and they probably will for the next 4 years. But at least, they failed in this attempt to block Trump's agenda, and we're going to see Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, who can get rid of DEI and start cleaning up the ranks to make the Army and Marines actually war fighters, which is key, not just woke flag raising in Saudi Arabia, which obviously made them mad, of transgenderism and all these other craziness that soldiers just shouldn't be doing. And now we get to turn the page and look at RFK and Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel. So we'll be watching those exact same three people and how they behave going forward. As always, thanks, and we'll see you soon.